Hello everyone, I'm Raven from Raven Comics, and today we will continue with the story of Damian Wayne in the future. We begin with Terry. Let's remember that previously, Corey had been searching for Batman. The demon had returned. Terry, with the intention of helping Corey, went to the League of Shadows base. It's worth mentioning that Terry went without Bruce Wayne's permission, who had asked him many times not to go there. Terry was in for a big surprise while fighting the leader of the League of Shadows. The demon wasn't Ra's al Ghul, but another Wayne. Bruce always knew his son was the new leader, which is why he didn't want Terry to confront him. He knows he's no match for his son. This is definitely something Terry never expected. The Batman of the future wonders if the person standing in front of him is Damian Wayne. The armor does a retinal scan and a voice analysis. The suit confirms it. The person in front of him is the son of Bruce Wayne. Since Terry became Batman, he had always wondered what happened to Damian Wayne. Why did Terry take on the mantle of Batman instead of Damian? Terry asks him why he chose this path. Before Damian can explain what happened, he lunges at Terry to attack him with his swords. A battle begins. Terry doesn't understand why Batman never mentioned this to him. What on earth could have happened? Could it be that Damian was Batman, but ruined it? Maybe Damian was never up to his father's level and couldn't be a good Batman. Damian tells him he's wrong. It's clear that Damian is on par with any Batman and is even better than the Batman of the future. Terry needs a suit to be effective, whereas Damian doesn't need any of that. The fight is interrupted by several ninjas who arrive to try to help their leader. Damian tells them to stand back. He will be the one to defeat his father's emissary, the battle resumes. Terry tells him he's no emissary. In fact, he's here of his own free will. Bruce has no idea he's in this place. Damian tells him he's naive to think Bruce doesn't know he's here. That only shows his naivety. Of course, Bruce knows where he is. He also knows that Terry won't be able to compete against Damian. It seems that's true. Terry can't do anything against his opponent's blows. Suddenly, the suit's protocols activate, entering a defensive mode. This is to prevent Terry from suffering from the heavy blows he just received. The suit tells him his opponent is an expert in all forms of personal combat. This is definitely the most complete opponent Terry will never be able to beat. Batman tells his suit to be quiet. He's good enough on his own. He has to use all his skills to defeat Damian. The leader of the League begins to attack him again. Suddenly, the suit activates more protocols, this time lethal attack measures. Batman counterattacks and manages to break one of Damian's swords. Terry tells him that adopting his grandfather's evil ways was a mistake. Damian replies that the only one making mistakes here is Terry, as he's trying to adopt Bruce Wayne's methods. We cut to Bruce Wayne. Due to his old age, he struggles to climb the mountain. While climbing, he recalls what happened with Damian Wayne at that time. Bruce remembers how Damian turned his back on him years ago. His son decided to go with his grandfather. That was something that greatly upset Bruce. At one point in his life, Bruce realized he could no longer be Batman. In a conversation with Damian, the latter told him it was obvious that this would happen. Besides, he had already undergone 3 major surgeries on his spine. After living in Europe, Damian returned to his father. Bruce thought he had forgotten about Gotham City. Damian tells him to enjoy living in Europe, but that doesn't mean he will let Gotham suffer, especially since his grandfather invaded the city in Batman's absence. Ra's al Ghul is about to launch an attack. He remains convinced that humanity will destroy the Earth. Overpopulation, war, and environmental sabotage have caused great harm to this planet. Ra's al Ghul won't allow this planet to be harmed, so he will make sure mankind disappears. Bruce asks Damian if he's there to defend Gotham City or his grandfather's ideals. Damian tells him he's there because his father can no longer defend the city. Damian hasn't spoken to his grandfather in a long time, but the signs of an upcoming attack are very obvious. It's as if Ra's al Ghul wanted them to know about the attack. The League has arrived, and it seems the ninjas have obtained some technological upgrades. Damian says his grandfather adopted technology in a way he never did before. Bruce tells him that perhaps he realized he needed technology to fight against technology. Damian tells him he'll be able to stop his grandfather. Damian puts on his father's suit, becoming Batman at that moment. Bruce asks him not to do it. Wearing that suit will push him to his limits and make him lose control. Damian tells him he stopped being Robin a long time ago, but the time to be Batman has come. There's no suit that could make him lose control. Damian went after the League of Assassins and attacked them with great ferocity. Even Bruce felt a chill after nearly 4 hours of fighting. Damian had wiped out most of his grandfather's army. The suit somehow gave him a small push to unleash his true self. Damian had become something even Bruce could not recognize. Bruce contacted Damian to ask him to stop, obviously. His son refused. Bruce went to the scene, but by the time he arrived, there was no one left. The only thing remaining were pieces of the suit. Bruce realized that the attack on Gotham City had a single purpose, and that was to recruit Damian. That's why the attack was so obvious. Ra's al Ghul knew that if Damian used the suit, his dark side would completely emerge. With that, he could convince him to join his cause. Since that day, Bruce never saw his son again. Meanwhile, the fight between Batman and Damian continues. Terry tells him that his sword is broken. Without it, he won't be able to do much damage. Damian tells him he's more foolish than he thought. He doesn't need his weapons to win this battle. Not when he can use his opponent's weapons against him. Damian attacks Terry with his own bombs. The battle has moved outside the base. Damian grabs another sword and charges at his opponent again. Since Damian has already used this suit, he knows exactly how it works and is familiar with its strengths and weaknesses. He knows the exact frequency needed to interfere with its cyber link. Damian activated some speakers, which caused significant damage to Terry. Damian then pounces on Terry to start beating him. The leader of the League reveals that he manipulated Quarry to search for him and bring him to their headquarters. Terry tries to defend himself, but his suit isn't working. It's true that Damian wanted Batman to be in this place, but more than anything, he wanted the original Batman. We return to Bruce, who is still moving forward. He is aware that if Damian sends any enemy his way, he won't be able to do much to defend himself. As he continues, he wonders why Damian would have tried to bring him here. Could it be that he wants to fight Terry to rid himself of some guilt? Or does he want to get his hands on the suit? After asking himself several questions, everything becomes clear. Bruce has finally reached his son, and Damian welcomes him. He tells his father that he arrived just in time to watch his successor die. We have more flashbacks. When Bruce first met his son, he saw him as brazen and defiant, someone confident in himself. Damian was secretly raised by his mother, Talia. Batman didn't know of his existence for several years. Talia's purpose was to mold her son into the next leader of the League. When Bruce met his son, he realized that Damian was on the path to becoming a monster, but eventually, he began to shape him to become his successor. Unfortunately, what we just saw happened, and Damian became the new leader of the League of Shadows. We return to the present. Bruce asks his son not to kill Terry at the last moment. Damian buries his sword in the snow and says he would never kill a weak and compromised opponent, especially if his opponent is as weak as this one. Killing him would bring no satisfaction. Damian just confirmed one of his theories. Bruce would never come here for his son if he didn't when Damian left with his grandfather. He would do so even less now that he's the leader of the League. Bruce is here for his successor. Bruce says he wanted to come, but was imprisoned by terminal illness. Damian was aware of his situation. He knew that as long as Bruce's bank accounts remained active, he was still alive. Damian never did anything to save his father, because he knew Terry would do it at any moment. Bruce asks if he's jealous. Damian says no, that he would never be jealous of someone so inferior. In the distance, Terry is recovering. His suit is activating its attack protocols. And as if that weren't enough, he's getting angry at all of Damian's comments, which make him feel inferior. Batman gets up and attacks Damian from behind. Bruce knows that the only way Terry can beat Damian is if Damian makes a mistake in battle. But that's virtually impossible. They face each other. Terry throws a few batarangs at Damian. The demon destroys them effortlessly. Damian tells him he had the element of surprise on his side, and he could have used it more effectively. Terry says this battle isn't over yet. Bruce pleads with them to stop. There's no reason for them to fight. Damian says there is. In fact, it's a debt long overdue. Damian's skills are impressive. He has improved greatly since the last time Batman saw him. His skill and agility are on another level. Undoubtedly, Damian has surpassed his father. Terry has fallen to the ground once again. Damian demands that he get up and continue fighting. Terry's feet are forced to fight. His body returns to the battle. The suit has taken control of his body. Damian prepares. He already knows the suit's protocols and knows what its next moves will be. Batman charges at Damian, trying to cut him with some blades. The attack was strong, but Damian managed to stop it. Damian knows that Terry has given his body over to the suit. Because of this, Damian will no longer hold back and will attack with all his weapons. Damian attacks with his pet, Goliath. This is the last of the Bat Dragons. Damian was a child when he took it in. In response to these attacks, the suit analyzes the enemy. Batman strikes with a shockwave, which causes great damage to Goliath. Goliath recovers, then grabs Batman and slams him into the ground. Damian tells his father that Terry doesn't know how to fight. He's truly a useless replacement. Bruce asks why Damian organized all of this. What was the purpose of bringing the two of them to this place? Damian says there was no purpose. After all, Bruce came because he wanted to. Though he does wonder why it took Bruce so long to come. Bruce says he thought Damian would come to his senses and return. When Damian left, Bruce assumed the suit had brought out the worst in him. Damian says Bruce always blames the suit for everything. The truth is that Damian left because he wanted to. The suit had nothing to do with it. One day he returned, but to his surprise, his father already had a replacement. It was clear that his presence wasn't needed. Bruce can't believe all of this is because of Terry. Moreover, when Damian left, Bruce tried to find him everywhere. Damian tells Bruce not to lie to himself. He's Batman, and he can find anyone he wants. He simply didn't want to find Damian. Despite that, Damian holds no grudge. He left because he realized that Batman is only concerned with protecting Gotham City. His grandfather's vision has always been focused on saving the entire world. Ra's al Ghul needed a successor urgently. The leader had regenerated so many times in the Lazarus Pit that he couldn't do it anymore. His time as an immortal had come to an end. But what was the reason Ra's al Ghul recruited him? The leader explains his plan. His goal has always been to save this planet and its nature. He always believed that humanity would be responsible for the planet's demise. Therefore, the two of them worked together to create something that could wipe out humanity without harming the planet. Unfortunately, his grandfather died halfway through. He didn't live to see the fruit of his efforts. From the beginning, Damian believed in his grandfather's ideals, and he will be the one to wipe out humanity with these missiles. Bruce tries to stop him, saying he won't let him launch those missiles. Damian tells him there's no way he can be stopped. He brought Bruce here to witness the next step in Earth's evolution. Bruce is here only to see Ra's al Ghul's dreams fulfilled soon. The Earth will be purified. Bruce tells Damian that this isn't who he is. The suit altered his mind. Damian says he's wrong. He's exactly who he was created to be. Suddenly, Terry gets up. He's recovered, and the first one he begins to attack is Goliath. Terry tells Damian that he admires the cruelty of his actions. He acts without caring about the costs. Terry uses chains to strangle Goliath. Damian's pet has just been killed, and now it will be Damian's turn to die. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe for more content like this. I'm TJ Prime, and see you in the next video.